I told my roommate we won't be keeping in touch once we stop living together, and he completely lost it. I've been living with this guy Derek for about 3 years now. We found each other on one of those roommate finder apps when we both needed a place and the rent was right. That's literally the only reason we live together. I don't dislike Derek or anything. He's fine. He pays his half on time, doesn't leave dishes in the sink for days, and keeps the bathroom clean. But we have absolutely nothing in common. Not a single thing. We don't hang out, we don't grab dinner together, we don't watch the same shows. We're basically just two strangers who happen to sleep in rooms next to each other. He has a car and I don't, but I've never once asked him for a ride anywhere. When I need to take my cat to the vet, I just call an Uber. It's like 20 bucks each way, but I'd rather pay that than have some awkward car ride where we both pretend to have things to talk about. He's never offered either, which is fine. We just don't have that kind of relationship. We don't even tell each other when we're going to be gone for a few days. I'll come home sometimes and he's just not there. No text, no note, nothing. And I do the same thing. The only time I ever ask about his schedule is if I need someone to feed my cat over the weekend. That's it. That's the extent of our communication. The only time we're ever in the same room is evenings in the living room. But even then, he's got his AirPods in watching stuff on his phone, and I'm gaming on the TV with my headset on. We'll sit there for hours not saying a single word to each other, just two guys existing in the same space. So last week we were talking about the lease renewal coming up, and he made this comment that caught me off guard. He said something like, yeah, in 5 years when we're living in different places but still keeping in touch, we'll probably laugh about this apartment. I just looked at him and said, we're not going to keep in touch. He paused and asked what I meant. I told him straight up that once we don't share this apartment anymore, we won't have any reason to talk. The lease is the only thing connecting us. We don't have anything in common. We don't do anything together. We barely speak now. Why would that change when we don't even live in the same place? Derek got really upset. He started saying how cold that was and how we've lived together for 3 years. He said he thought we were friends. I told him we're roommates, not friends. Friends actually spend time together and enjoy each other's company. We just tolerate sharing a space. He brought up how we watch movies in the living room together sometimes. I reminded him that we don't watch movies together. We sit in the same room while doing completely different things. That's not hanging out. That's just coexisting. Then he got dramatic and said I was being harsh for no reason. But I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just being honest. I don't see how a friendship works when you have 0 things in common. What would we even text about? Hey, remember that time we sat in silence for 3 hours? Good times. The truth is, I probably won't even keep him on my social media after we move out. He's one of those wannabe influencer types who posts these super staged photos with long captions about his journey and growth. Nothing he puts online feels real. I've had him muted everywhere for like 2 years now. I only keep him added because it would be weird to remove your own roommate. He's barely talked to me since that conversation, which honestly just proves my point. If we can go days without speaking while living in the same apartment, imagine how easy it'll be to never speak again when we don't. I told my buddy about this and he said I was kind of brutal for saying it out loud. He thinks I should have just let Derek believe we'd stay in touch and then slowly fade out like normal people do. But I don't see the point in lying about something so obvious. We both know we're not friends. The lease is up in 4 months. I've already started looking at new places. Derek hasn't said anything about renewing together and neither have I. I think we both know this arrangement has an expiration date.